Now I'm very excited to welcome back an NFL and sports betting expert, Mr. Sean Higgs from winningfreepicks.com, Midday Money. You can follow Sean on X at Mr. Sean Higgs. Sean, here we are, my man. The NFL, we're about, what was I saying? I was just saying 30 days away. I think I was wrong. I think it's about 29 days away now.
Yeah. It's what, September 4th?
Yeah, Thursday. How's your summer treating you, my man?
Nice baseballs. Finally, not that's having a bad baseball season. I'm always floating between like 5 and 8 games, 11 games under 500. And I'm a dog guy and a run like guy. So I wasn't really getting it wasn't like a bad losing day. It wasn't like it was hurting me, but it was just, 3-1, 0-2, 1. But the last month and a half, I turned into a plus. I'm 500 record wise. But I'm again, dogs and run lines. They treat me all right. So back into the plus. I'm excited about that. But also, let's give you know how it is. These baseball lines, trade deadline. The Mariners laying 250, 299. Like the lines get out of hand. I don't mind because we got football. I could pivot away from that and not force crap and maybe dive a little more into college or NFL or just nothing. I don't like anything today. I can just watch a little TV and relax and just get away from the screens, So
absolutely. Well, the perfect timing to talk some football then, man, because we have some football to talk about here. And we decided, I text Sean, I'm like, what should we cover? He's like, let's freaking do everything. I'm like, yeah, let's do everything. Why not? Let's talk about what's going on in the NFL. And we'll just kind of hit on anything that you like. And I usually like to start with kind of what's been out first, which is kind of the win totals and the futures out there. I don't know if you take many Vegas win totals, but if you want, we can either go division by division or just a little hodgepodge. I always like to start with the NFC North myself.
I've only grabbed 2 win totals on a year for myself.
Okay. Let's hit them.
And you want to go to the NFC North, you said? Because I did take a Bears under 8.5.
Well, there you go. You already started out with the right division because that's what I start with. So, I was talking with Humans the other week when he was on, and, I said that this number's too high. I didn't bet it myself. I am a Bears fan. I think if I wait a little bit, maybe I get better. I don't know. But, I don't know why it's 8.5 either.
Last year I did a show with Gabe Moranci. I was doing his show for Sports Grid, and I said the Bears are going to win like 5-6 games top. And boy, that was my most viral tweet ever. There was like 38 comments. People are taking my profile pic, putting clown noses on me. This guy's stupid. Hi, he's clickbait. And I thought my reasoning was correct. There was a high win total, like 9.5 for them. The head coach, I didn't like the head coach. He had a new quarterback. Come on. How are they going to win games? And this year is the same. I wanted, all I said last year was I'll be on you guys next year. You get rid of the head coach. All right, you got a new head coach, but I don't love Williams. People love this kid. He played in the Pac-12 when it was still NFL-type caliber players, before disbanded. And he was not good against NFL-type players on defense. He was not, he had a great one season, and then let's be honest, the bowl game, the guy came in and threw 7 touchdowns, made him look like he was a nobody. Did I see anything special from him last year? I know they got talent. They got the offensive line better, new coach, all this and that. I don't know, man. I saw the one video, and again, I don't get wrapped up into preseason all that much and, 30-second YouTube clips of a guy whining and shrugging his shoulders and acting like a baby or missing rats and stuff. But, this is also a guy who's, came in and said, you're going to draft me. I want to be owner of a team. I don't know how he's going to handle another bad year. Because it could very well happen. An 8.5. Hey, listen, do I think that the Lions will take a step back? Lions have a tough schedule, right? Minnesota's got a new quarterback. He's a rookie for all intended purposes. He didn't play last year. Right. I think Green Bay's going to be a little better. 8.5. It's kind of like just fading the public on that one, right? Because that is a team that people were high on because of the new quarter. Oh, it's not Justin Fields. The coach is gone. I don't know. I'm going to fade that. I look at their overall schedule. I'm not loving that. I'm not loving their schedule. So they're favored 7 games. What do we got here? It could get ugly right off the bat. Versus, there was small favor on Monday night, Kiev against Minnesota.
Yeah. That's a great teaser leg, that Minnesota too. And I agree. I don't. I'm worried about Williams being a good draft pick, and it's not necessarily. It's one of those situations where it's almost like with Trubisky. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's the number one guy," and then this guy hears it, and then this guy says it, then this guy hears it, and this guy says it, and it was kind of like that with Caleb Williams. And I was kind of like, I think he is. If gun to the head, would I pick him over Daniels? I guess, and it's the problem is that there was real red flags there in the way he handles himself emotionally. And I'm not sure if he's an NFL quarterback either, because you think back to it, those USC plays, he was freaking running out of the pocket, throwing to 4 or 5-star guys against bad players. It's like,
Yes.
Sure, he looked good there. I'm very concerned about him. It would shock me if Ben Johnson has to bench him for like a Tyson Bagent or somebody during the year. And I'm not saying I'm giving up on the guy. I'm just saying I'm not like what I saw yet. He's not.
I wish they would have kept Justin Fields. They were in such a rush to get rid of Justin Fields. Why? I mean, can you blame a little bit of the head coach for a problem? You got rid of the head coach the next year. He had to be part of the problem.
Yeah. That's possible.
And as much as he's a number one pick or first rounder, Kev, let's be honest. These teams, they see a guy, and this is our guy. Whether it's a first round, second round, they think he's something. And every year it's the same stuff. Oh, look at the poise and his pocket presence. He's going to be they're like the offensive lineman. I think the only thing you could say, or is that a plug and play guy? That's an offensive lineman. That's a guy who's going to come in day one in camp and play for 10 years, right? You see that more in the offensive line than any other really position, to be honest with you, right? That's the spot. Not very few and far between franchise quarterbacks and stuff like that. That is the position I want to use that in. That's the only position, the offensive line. Those guys play forever.
What's up, Birdie? He's tweeting at us saying the guy paints a mean fingernail. But he also says Fields is also trash, Higgsy, and I
don't know if he's trash.
He's closer to trash than not being trash, but he also has some promise. Little promise. I think the Jets were right to take a swing at him because they don't have anybody, and I didn't like this year's quarterback draft class anyway. So I understand what the Jets are doing here, but I don't want to beat a dead horse on the Bears. I just want to say that. If anybody, I do like the coaching hire, and if anybody can fix Caleb, it's Ben Johnson. If Ben can't fix Caleb, he's done. He's done. His career is over, and so we'll see what he has, and maybe Ben Johnson fixes something with another quarterback this year. If we end up, unfortunately,
well, that's the thing is what about Ben Johnson? Does he take a hit for not being able to develop a guy? Right? Like, what does he get? 2 years? Like, how long does he take?
He doesn't. He doesn't. Poles should take a hit, but he just signed a 5-year extension because the Bears owners are morons. And I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I complain about the shit all the time.
Okay, here's the thing, Cam. Listen, Caleb played last year with a lame duck head coach. Now he's got a new head coach. So now he's 2 years in. So next year it's going to be what? Because the coach would be like, you know what? This ain't my guy. I didn't draft him. You drafted him.
That's why I think Ben's okay.
But now you're back on another. Let's go for another. That's what I'm saying. If you had Fields again, is he good? You don't know how good he is because he's on his third team in 3 years, right? You can't just be changing coordinators and having these kids play, especially the way they play in college. They're nowhere near prepared for NFL. But yet they're thrown into the fire, and some of them you're on a bad team. You're drafted in the top 5. You're most likely with a rookie head coach or second-year head coach. Your team has holes all over the place, whether offensive line or no playmakers or bad defense. You're up against it. You better be freaking on your game from draft day. You better get in the room because you got a lot of work to do. A lot of these kids don't have a shot coming in when you're on a bad team.
100%. And sometimes the player that had a bad team but kind of looked good and just kind of, but he's not ranked the highest guy, becomes awesome in the NFL because he's running for his life the whole freaking time, right? It's almost like sometimes those guys are the ones to shine. Hell, you saw it with Tom Brady, obviously. You see with a lot of guys coming in to the NFL and just all of a sudden like, wow, what a hit on him. And, that's going to happen every once in a while. It is. And wow, did Lamar, he didn't have a good team around him in Louisville, and look how good he turned out. What's your other season win total, Sean?
Well, we're talking about the Jets. We'll go to one of their rivals, the Dolphins under. And for me, what that is, the last couple of years of Tua, I think the guy is a hit away from just being out of football, right? I know he's got his little special helmet on, but man, he took those 2 hits. I can't believe they even let him suit up the way the league is and how protective they are and stuff like that. So that's not a team I want to bet on. I think the coach is a joke. I mean, I think his flair is worn out real fast. You've done nothing. I mean, because we have 2 speedy wide receivers. We're a good team.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I'm not
interested in that.
I'll go under.
Did you get 8.5? Because that one's
8.5, a juicy 8.5, but I like it. I mean, I don't think this is a 9-win team. I mean, you're telling me 9 wins, they could maybe win more and go to the playoffs. I don't see that happening. No,
right. I don't either.
I mean, I'll find my little sheet where I have on them here. I'm looking forward to see how many games they're favored in. The Dolphins.
I know it's not. I know there's a lot of toss-ups in their schedule, and there's probably not a whole lot that they're outright favorites of more than a point or 2, right?
Yeah.
7.5 down to 7.5 minus 115.
Down to 7.5 now.
Yeah,
I feel better about that.
Yeah, it's a good play.
I feel good about that.
I think 8's their ceiling if things go extremely right in that division. So disagreements here.
I know you want to hit on like who I think are a surprise kind of team. I want to buy on the Jets with your Fields guy. I think they're favored in 3 games. They're underdogs in a bunch, and I think they have a bunch of winnable games. They're playing like the Bears.
Over 6.5 is plus 120 on the Jets. Over 6.5.
If I remember correctly, I think they have 7 games where they're between a half, like 1.5 and 1, like a lot of those kind of close kind of games like that. And if you get lucky, which, hey, your teams get lucky or they're just bad, right? So they catch a little luck and they win some of these, you're at 7, 8, 9 wins. Now, they got a new head coach, but the playmakers are still there on offense. I mean, the team basically threw Aaron Rodgers under the bus, right? Defense, they hated the guy. You're not going to like this guy? If your defense was good and then it just got worse as the season went on because of their feelings towards Aaron Rodgers, I think this team can be rejuvenated and win games. Because who do you have? I got a Miami team I don't like. Now, the Bills are favored in 17 games. The Bills pretty much lock up this division. But you got Miami, at the Patriots. And why all the Patriots hype? Because they got Vrabel? You still got a second-year quarterback who
over 8.5 minus 120. This feels a lot like the Bears hype, that we're so used to.
I took the Raiders in week 1 plus 3.
I'm waiting for 3.5. I agree with that. That's going to be probably a contest play for me, Sean, for the Circa Millions, and I'm going to be on that for sure. I'm hoping for a 3.5. I think once it hits 3.5, it's going to be beat down. I think the best you're going to get is a 3.5 minus 120, which I still like. But this is when you put a little sprinkle on the money line as well. There's going to be some more value on that. Is if you're getting plus money, why not? Yeah, I think they can win outright. And you got a great coach there, Pete Carroll, who's kind of zooming into the preseason here on a new team. And that's
another thing with Carroll and the Raiders. I know I'm a little high on them. Do I think they'll win a lot of games? Maybe not. You got the Chargers, Denver, and Kansas City in the division. Why you chose that division? Who only knows you're 72? Like you're gonna ride to the mountaintop in this division down the road. Like you didn't draft a quarterback. You could have had Sanders or Dart or one of these guys. You didn't take a quarterback, right?
All championship coaches in that division. All 4 have been to Super Bowls. 3 of them won a Super Bowl. 2 of them has won a college national championship.
But I like them because he's got his quarterback. You got a running back. You got Crosby on defense. You sort of have some decent wide receivers. But I like the leadership part of it where it's a veteran crew and going to come in there and want to change the culture kind of nonsense. But I'll take that over a second-year quarterback. As much as I like Vrabel, should you be favored? I don't know. The Raider, not hype. What's the opposite of hype for the Raiders? Kiev, right? I mean, it's not
disdain, maybe. Teams are undervalued, and a lot of it starts in the media, and and a lot of times you see how completely freaking wrong it is, and you saw that last year more than ever, right? With the Denver Broncos, and Denver was supposed to suck last year, and people were taking their under 5.5. Well, what the hell happened?
I thought Zach Wilson was going to get a nice run out there. I'm like, man, Zach Wilson's probably going to get a chance to play for somebody, a decent quarterback coach out there. And Peyton, I thought he'd be all right.
Yeah,
nope. Didn't get a shot.
And
that's probably because the rookie quarterback was 4 years older than him, though. That's probably why he didn't get a shot.
Yeah. And Birdie's point, the run defense of the Raiders, they just lost another guy that wanted out too. But that's Pete Carroll knows a little bit about defense. Obviously, that's how he won in Seattle, was through defense, and he's a head coach. I know that you expect that to be beefed up a little bit this year, and with Crosby there as a leader, I do like a couple guys on the Raiders, and I think that Butler kid right there is going to be a pretty good defensive tackle. We'll see what happens with Malcolm Kuntz and a few other guys. There's a lot of guys that you're just like, who are they? But you have some linebackers there, and Tommy Eichenberg and Landon Roberts, and I expect them just to be serviceable. And here's the thing: the Patriots are they going to sit there and just run all day, or are they going to show off Drake May a little bit? I think that's where they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. And Mike Vrabel, he's a good coach, but this is week 1. So I agree with him completely on this one. Let's move into a little preseason. Speaking of the Raiders, I took this early before the line moved myself, and I took the Raiders, I believe, plus, I'll check my numbers here real quick, plus 1.5 at plus 100. And now the line's moved in my favor here. I think that this is a Pete Carroll spot, and you got to understand Pete Carroll's 28-21 in preseason football. He likes to win preseason games. You have to understand that Aiden O'Connell is his backup, and I know Miller is there too, and he's going to get plenty of play. But it's not like Seattle's going to be playing Sam Darnold and get him injured right away. I expect Seattle to be throwing out some of their garbage as well, like Drew Lock and Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe sucked in college, my man. I got
to tell you, I took Seattle at minus 140 when it opened. I'm like, give me Seattle. I know it's a revenge game and there's some Seattle players left, but I felt, okay, I know Darnold's not going to play. If Locke gets in, maybe. He's kind of like a backup already in the league, right? He's been on a bunch of teams. Mm-hmm. I thought I'd get all Milroe, and he'll be able to, do something with his legs, and he's going to just take off and get a win for me here. But 4.5, like, okay, is this just going to be the Aiden O'Connell show the entire time? If it's Aiden O'Connell all game, I'm in trouble with Seattle.
Well, the line has certainly moved in my direction. I can just take Seattle plus 4.5 here and have a 5.
Let me ask you, I was talking about this today with another cat, with two guys, the last couple of days. Now, preseason used to be, you'd have the Hall of Fame game, you have 4 games. You kind of knew how to weave through that, right? It was kind of like, all right, week 1, it was going to kind of be low scoring here, bunch of backup kind of nonsense, blah, blah, blah. Week 2, you'd have more of a higher scoring kind of affair, right? Week 1 would just be under everything, 32. The games would be 13-6, just ugly games. Week 2, you get more to starters. Week 3 was you knew week 3 was like a regular game. You're going to get a half, 3 quarters. You kind of bet that like a real game. And week 4 was whatever. Take the under, and you'll go 15-2 with the unders or something, right? There'll be nothing going on. Nobody wants to get hurt. They get rid of these games now, and we've seen, right, last year, a lot of overs, right? The 32s and 33s. Used to be, all right, that's a nice under. Not anymore, right? We saw it in week 1, or Hall of Fame game. Chargers put up a 34 spot themselves. These 4.5s, we never see these 4.5s. 6.5s, you would never see games like this. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing a bunch of 6s and 4s in the first games of teams.
No.
And 3 years ago, I'd be like, all right, you'd wait a little bit, right? Unless you kind of like the game, but you'd be like, the game's not going to move that much. 4 in week 1? 4. The Colts went from plus 1, and I got them at plus 1.5. They're 5.5-point favorites now
against the Ravens. Which scratches my head a little bit. And they're going to play Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones most likely, but it's still Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones against a quarterback at Harbaugh or coach that likes to win. You're going to see Cooper Rush and Devin Leary. It's not like you're going to see much Lamar either. But I mean, be careful with that. I'd take 5.5.
5.5.
It's too much.
But
it's too much.
But also, and who the Niners are like that too, right? The Niners and the Bengals have big 6-point lines this week, I believe.
Well, the Bengals announced that they're really going to play Joe Burrow.
And that's a spot.
I'm not sure if I like that idea, but it's why the line moves so much in the preseason.
Well, they said they're going to take a game serious. And again, we've seen them start slow every year, right? Bad, and just losing games they should win, just starting out terrible. That's I could get behind a 6, right? Right. This is you'd see a 4.5 like this, automatic, take the faves in these kind of spots. I mean, week 1, no, I'm flabbergasted. If they go to 2 games like they want to, I don't think I'll bet a preseason game anymore. I just would not be able to. I won't.
Yeah, it's 2 games. I don't want them to go to 2. 3's fine. You got to test these guys out in some sort of situation here. It's not even that much pressure. It's not like a real game, but it's definitely a lot more than freaking practice. I mean, there's a lot of guys like Anthony Richardson that looks like Tarzan in practice, plays like Jane in real games. I mean, you've seen that. Anthony Richardson's great looking in practice, but he looks terrible in the games. And then that's why you got to judge this a little bit. So I agree with you. What kind of ways do you approach the preseason, Sean? How do you like to look at it? Are you one of those locked in on the X and beat writers and trying to figure out who's starting to keep the line moves, or are you kind of like this? It's not.
Again, so the games I got the Colts plus 1.5 because I like the 2 quarterbacks who I thought would play. Right, you're going to have a little bit of a battle between Richardson and Jones there. Seattle, I got that line moved away from me. Right, that's from a -2 to a 4. I got Cleveland Browns moved. I got a +2. Now they're 4.5. Tennessee, I had a money line 120 to a -3. I'm a quarterback kind of who's coming into play. I don't get on the beat writers all that much. I want to say that, right? And you just mentioned it. The coaches come out and pretty much tell you what to do, how they're going to play things and stuff like that. So I think there's edges in that. I like the quarterback rotations. I'm more of who's the backups because, right off the bat, the top guy's not playing. If I get a guy who started games coming in second, playing a half, I feel good about it. Mm-hmm. And that's every game I have this week, everything's moved. So I'm kind of scratching my head. I did have the over in week 1 and the Chargers there because I felt the Lions had nothing to prove, right? What do we got to prove here? Or, it's the Chargers day, whatever. After the last 36 hours watching these lines move, oh boy, I think you got to adjust. I mean, if I win and have a winning week, I'll be like, you know what? I'm the smartest man alive. I could very well take a donut when the lines go all over the place on you, right? Oh, I got a 33 and it's a 37. Okay, and it still loses. It's definitely tough for Kiev. Ever since I think not just preseason but also regular season, it's legal in a bunch of states. You got different lines in New Orleans than you do have in New York, than you have in Chicago, than you have wherever, right? They're kind of skewed to home teams. You got all types of nonsense like that. You can't really get a full, the consensus. What's the public on? What's the public on? They're on same game parlays. They're not on, the homers are on home teams. It's totally different now. It's the last few years. I think you really got to. The lines are sharper. Yes and no. I should say that because I think it's still kind of beatable because I think they're more concentrating on the parlay crew to kind of reel them in. But it's still the hardest sport out there, NFL. The legalization all over the place. I'm fine tuning every year the last few years. Everything you got to kind of. It's just different. I can't. I mean, you know how it is. You've been doing it. You can't really put. I can't put it into words. Well,
it's
a mix of a lot of different things between preseason and regular season, and the sitting out of the guys. Like you said, how do you sit? Like last year, I think they sat out Richardson the whole preseason. We're not going to play him. The guy played 8 games in college. How aren't you playing him? Or anybody. Yeah. You're going to sit out a number 1 draft pick, and I get it. They're playing scrimmages all week, and that's their big game. Don't you want to see some game speed? Don't you want to see real game speed and him having to respond to a 290-pound guy jumping on top of him, and how's he going to bounce back from landing on a ball and have the wind knocked out of him? Stupid stuff.
Yeah,
they don't do that anymore.
They got to play him. I mean, sometimes they even look bad in preseason. You're like, what the hell? I have a projected starter. That happened last year. I can't remember which team it was, but they were playing their guy and they kept playing him. And he was supposed to be a pretty good quarterback. And they're still getting their ass kicked in the preseason. It was just very weird, ugly looking. That's going to happen. And, these line, anything over 3 is ridiculous. And here's the thing: 1.5. Don't lay -1.5 in fucking preseason. No. Don't do it.
No, take the dog. Take the dog.
There's ties. They allow ties. Yes. And these teams down 1, they're not going for an extra point. They're going for 2. They're going for 2. It's like don't lay 1.5 in this situation. That is a sucker bet if you're laying 1.5. You do not do that. You lay a money line if you have any interest in that. And so just, keep that in mind in the preseason. But I like you, information is key. Backup quarterbacks is key. And so is coaching motivation. Still, I'm a strong believer in coaching motivation. And I still think, some of these lines are going to be a little bit too much. And, one line that went against me, and I am on the Lions right side. I was on Lions -125, now they're -200. But one line went against me is the Steelers. I took +110, they're +130 now. I still, they're playing the Jaguars. Is Jaguars going to throw out Trevor Lawrence the whole game? I don't think so. Steelers, you got Mason Rudolph over there. Mason Rudolph can play.
He's a starter in this league. I don't even know who the backup is for the Jaguars.
Yeah. Well,
Mac Jones is on the Niners now, right? I mean, he's not even over there.
Oh yeah, dude, Mac Jones is gone. It's funny that it's so funny that he landed on the Niners, because that's kind of what we thought was going to happen during that actual draft, which is hilarious. But it's Nick Mullins and John Woodruff or Wolford and Seth Hennigan. So you better freaking pray that Nick Mullins plays the whole game. And I was going to say as much as Mason Rudolph. Why is Jaguars favored here? It makes no sense to me. So I'm still. Are we getting a full game of Nick Mullins? Because I'll be on and over in that game. If I get Mullins and Rudolph, that's like an NFL game. I'll be able to see some points in that game. I imagine they'll play a little Howard, but shit, he just won Ohio State. He might be okay. I secretly like Howard a little bit, and so I mean, we'll see, because they're going to probably play John Wolford too. This is getting ridiculous here. I still like the Steelers for sure. Let's move into a little NFL week 1, and it's very early. I made 2 plays. I got a bunch of maybes, Sean, but a maybe isn't enough for me to just go early. The earliest play I made was the Houston Texans +3 at the LA Rams. And, the way I look at it is like, yeah, LA got better during the season, but it's not like the Houston Texans got worse. I mean, there were just some terrible roughing the passer on 4th down calls from possibly beating the Chiefs last year in the playoffs. I'm like, what are they doing? Being +3 in LA, where it's not that much of a home field advantage in week 1. So, I mean, that was my play. And to be honest with you, I still kind of like it, man. I'm starting to hear that back spasms and back problems with Stafford. I don't know. How
he's 37.
No doubt, he's 37.
Right? Is that old? I mean, he's not like some young spring chicken.
It's still +3. I don't get it. I have these power rated pretty close to each other. Why is it +3 in LA? I don't get it.
I think Stroud is a really good quarterback. He had a great rookie year. Even if you want to say his sophomore year was a slump, he still went to the playoffs and won another game in the playoffs. The guy, right? He's won 2 playoff games in 2 years. It's a good team. The Rams, I got a Rams no playoffs for +140, and I did it just because it was +1, because I thought the Rams, Stafford, and Naku was there, and then they brought in Adams. You got rid of Kupp, who was injury, and you get Adams in there. It's fine. You got the running back. But my thing is, I don't know if Stafford's going to last the year. And could he very well? Yeah, he could. He could, and they could maybe win the division. Who knows, right? I mean, the coach is good. But 2 years ago, this guy McVay was this close to retiring. Kiev, he was right. He was going to hang it up after the thing. They talked about maybe he might retire. They got a bad salary cap. Darnold might retire this year. Why is he going to stick around? I'm with you. I like the Texans. I got 6 games already for week 1.
6 games. Let's hear them, man. What's going on? And hey, shout out to Gerald Jones. Higgs is
Yeah,
one of my
Gerald said
favorite
that. I
backers.
appreciate that for that. Thank you,
What's up,
Gerald.
Gerald and Birdie? Yeah, public money doesn't mean as much as it used to before, and I think from a percentage side, because people say, "Oh, most of the tickets are on this, but the money's this way." Yeah, I think I looked at a little less than I have in the past, Birdie, as well. But Sean, man, let's see what you got.
I'm gonna say with that, and you have to, because the Chicago office is taking more than the New York office on a New York team, and vice versa. Like in New York, New Jersey, what do you think everybody's going to be betting on the Jets? And they're home fans, whatever the team is. You can. So Panthers. I want to use the Panthers as my survivor pick. That's what I'm thinking. Panthers, actually, maybe. That's how I'm a sicko like that.
+3 against the Jaguars
on the road. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is man! You join Bryce Young's fan club. I'll hear you what you have to say about it first.
It's not as much about them. The team wasn't all that great last year, and can they be worse than what they were last year? I don't think so. I think they've changed some things up a little bit, but this is more about the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, when's the last time this guy's won a game? I think he's lost like 13 straight starts. New coach, new regime, new scheme.
And that is one thing you do fade as new coaches, the week one. So that is a true
other guy. That's like the hot seat crew on the other side after crap years, right? That's the team that's got to come out with a win, or even if they lose by 2 or something or 3, I'll get a push, whatever the case would be. I'm taking the Panthers. I just think they're the hungrier squad, and I can't bet on this. Is like baseball. Like, hey, everybody, you got to take the Yanks today. They're going to win. Well, they lost 5 in a row. It doesn't mean they're going to win today. Trevor Lawrence hasn't won in a year.
Well, Trevor Lawrence got paid. Trevor Lawrence already got paid, and Bryce Young did. So if you want to talk about a hungrier dog to fight, it's Bryce Young, because he didn't get paid yet. Trevor Lawrence got paid for not doing anything. I will say that Trevor Lawrence has not had a good football coach yet. So, we'll see how this kind of goes to fruition. I just think the Jaguars are still more stacked than the Carolina Panthers. So I'm not.
Oh yeah. It's Travis Hunter. Really, is Travis Hunter doing everything here? I mean, it's one guy.
I didn't like that pick, but yet I liked the Jaguars team last year a lot more than how they played in their record, just from their talent standpoint. But I did not like what they did with Hunter there. Yeah, not with you on that one. I would not do Survivor. Man.
How about that? Well, we talked about Vegas already. I took Vegas there. I told you +3.
I love that pick. I am so.
Can I interest you in New York Giants +7?
Yes. All right. You can interest me in that, and I didn't take it yet, but I'm just waiting on this one because everyone's going to jump all over Jaden Daniels, and this is just a great.
They almost beat them last year. If they had a kicker on the field, they would have been able. They'd have a kicker on the roster.
And you have a real quarterback in Russell Wilson now. You have a real quarterback, and this is a division game. You don't take a division favorite in week one. You never take a division favorite in week one. It's a horrible play to do that. I'm with you. Giants will probably be a contest pick for me as well.
Right. And not only that, division, you're catching, I'm getting a full 7, and it's on the hype team. Like, Jaden Daniels the best thing since Puff Rice, this guy. Okay. Sure, I'll take the Giants. The thing, listen, Kiev, I like taking my dogs. I didn't grab the Jets yet. I'm going to take the Jets +3 here against Pittsburgh as well.
That, and I agree with that too, because Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you heard me talking about it.
Revenge for what? For freaking hurting himself and screwing himself up for a year and a half. If anything, the Jets would want revenge for the freaking money they spent on this.
Listen, the Jet guys. You heard the Jets defense. They hated the guy. The comments were they hated this guy. They got something to prove. The Jets.
Oh yeah,
the Jets got something to prove. Not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers going to Hall of Fame and Super Bowl winning. The Jets are the Jets. They're the team with the chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove on opening day.
I don't mind that one. The only problem I have is a new coach, but it's still +3.
Yes.
So there you go. Still +3.
Yeah.
I have some. I could see myself taking the Chargers against the Chiefs. It's at +3 now. It's the Friday game.
Yep, that's a tough one though. With that one, I could see. I want to take. Let's just start with the Chiefs. You got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. The writing on the wall, right? All the bulletin board material is like your offense is terrible. You can't score. The line, blah blah blah. There's a lot of. Let's put this on there. What are they saying about us? I mean, we've only been to like 5 Super Bowls the last 6 years. A lot of bulletin board material for them, right? Kelsey's old, Mahomes, But on the flip side, I got a young Charger team, right? It's a road game, so
Great
it's
coach.
it's
Great
a
coach.
neutral.
Both great
Nobody's.
coaches. Yeah,
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
I don't know
Don't
where
get me
I
wrong.
want to go.
I put a question mark on it. I didn't bet it yet. I'm gonna watch it for a
No,
while, see where it goes. Another
it
one I
was
put
two
is
and a half. At
Arizona.
2.5. 2.5. Okay, I could see Chiefs by 3. Like that's typical Chiefs, right? Win a game by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 3. Now I need a 3.5 if I want to get involved in the Chargers. They're going to get there. It'll be like we're talking about the Patriot game. It'll be there for a second, and if you're not home or looking at your screen at the time, it's going to be gone. I might not play it. I might. I mean, just because it's a Friday night game doesn't mean you got to play it because it's a prime time. Jump into a TD prop that day or something, folks. You don't got to bet aside in a 3 in Brazil. I'm not. It's tough to do because I can see, right? Would you be shocked if the Chargers win that game 34-27?
No.
I mean, or either team wins by 10. I won't be shocked. But I'm not running I'm not losing sleep over what I got to do on a Friday night.
Miami,
but I'll tell you what.
Miami at the Colts, was this one of them?
No. If I get Danny Dimes quarterbacking, I'll be on the Colts. I think that guy's got something to prove. He's got I like the coach. You got a running back. You got a line. You have it's a team that needed. It was like rudderless, that team, right? Richardson, the flashes are there, right? You see him, you're like, oh my God, this guy's the talent, but he's 9-27. Daniel Jones, you saw some good things out of him in his first year there under Dabble, and then he kind of fell back. But that was no Barkley. I think they had a lot of problems. But I haven't moved on that one. The where are we at here? Giants, Packers. Oh no, let's go Thursday night first. We didn't even talk about Cowboys Eagles Thursday night opening day.
Go for it. Let's go to Cowboys Eagles.
And I'm a Dallas guy. Hi, there he is. Randy White's on mini helmet, old school. Michael Downs, Bill Bates. We haven't been good in 30 years. I like Philly here. It came down to 6.5, and I don't like 6.5. I know it opened at the 7 range. Even there was a 7.5 when it first opened up because I did a show back on in May when the lines first came out, and there was a 7.5 off showed them. I like Philly. I know the proverbial trend is you fade the Super Bowl champ, right? I get it. Dak's coming back. He's 33-8 versus the Eagles. I can't. I as a Dallas fan, I said this last year about him. I thought the offensive line was bad. You still do. I mean, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams are the running. Who are the running backs on that team? Two injury guys. Oh, we got George Pickens. That's fine. That's fine if Dak Wilson or Dak Wilson. Oh my goodness, he's turning into. I'm talking. I got Zach Wilson and Dak Prescott. If Dak's lying on his back, he's not getting the ball to either of those guys. I got a coach I don't like. I got a defense I don't know how they're going to be. The best player on my team is disgruntled. Yeah, let's go and take that. That's going to be a great game.
They're all pissed.
Here's another game. If that game is 34-8 in the third quarter, right? I mean, I could totally see there just being a total blowout.
So just laying the points in the first game.
I'm laying it with Philly, and I'm no Philadelphia fan. I'll eat a cheesesteak. I'm never going to give the Eagles credit.
Maybe that should be your survivor, Philly.
Taking a favorite? No, I'm going to try to do Survivor with all dogs this year. That is my Survivor.
Dude, you're either going to win quick or be out quick. But I do love. I mean, if you're going for a $20 million pot, then I understand it because it's why be stressed out on week 10 when there's still like 5,000 people there and it's like you're going to be out anyway most likely, and you're like or win quick or get the hell out quick and forget about it, right?
You hear me with my dogs here. Jets, Panthers, Giants, Vegas. Like NFL to me, the first 2 weeks, I either start, and this is how I did I was in Humans Comments last year, and I start out terrible. Like it's either I'm going to be on top of the leaderboard. They are undervalued, I think. I think they are. I think they're being totally overlooked, Birdie.
That was
totally
Birdie
overlooked.
Saying back in
I either start great 80% NFL, or I am 3-13 out of the gate because the dogs are just getting manhandled. They're just manhandled. I want to take the Browns plus 5.5.
Birdie wants to book your survivor for 1,000.
I'll send you my hat. I already sent it in. I can't. So I did
well, Bernie, I'll tell you this: if he wins the $20 million, then you don't want to be in those shoes.
If I'm surviving that, if it's like, what was it, last year when everybody got wiped out in the first week, or was that 2 years ago? When was it? The first 2 weeks, like the top two teams got knocked out. Was that last year's 14 mil?
It would be a great. It was the last 2 years. It was the Panthers beating the Bengals and something last year, and I felt great when I didn't pick that one. And the next week, I picked the Ravens hosting the Raiders, and we remember what happened.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I had that in just the regular.
They freaking demoted that ref in that game too. So okay,
I just had them as a straight up. Picking in the millions.
Jared likes Tampa, Atlanta over 48, and Carolina Jags over 47. I don't know.
I like the Carolina one more than the Jags.
I like the Carolina one more than the Tampa Atlanta because Tampa's got a sneaky defense and they got a good running game with Bucky Irving there, and so does Atlanta with Bijan Robinson. I'm not messing with that one. As a matter of fact, I probably lean to the under, but I do like your Carolina Jags over probably on this one because that seems like more. Disjointed defense, possibly some picks in that game. Yeah,
it's two bad teams with two quarterbacks with something to prove. They got to come out and throw and do something. So okay, maybe they do something and they score, or maybe they do something and turn the ball over and the other team scores down the road. So that's why I like the over in that game. They could go, that's the good thing about a bad team.
I circled the Cardinals too. I mean, I know the Saints are getting all this hate. But, man, this is a road that you're going to be like, man, why didn't I just bet the Cardinals here? The Cardinals always come out strong. Kyler Murray fades kind of like mid-season and then just turns into Kyler Murray, right? But, at the beginning of the season, he comes out just hot, and I can see them just putting one on the Saints this year. And the Saints, another situation where they get a new coach, Kellen Moore. Yep. I like Gannon. I'll probably be on Arizona at some point here. And
he doesn't have Dak with him. There's Dak and Dak and CeeDee Lamb didn't come with him.
My last one is Detroit against the Packers. I'm looking at Detroit. I didn't bet it yet, but they're plus 1.5 at Green Bay. I'm sure they're not going to appreciate that too much. I know, I mean, they lost their coordinators, but I'm hearing that the guys, they're really kind of propping up the next guys coming in, right? And I can't think of their names off the top of the head, even though I just did a freaking paper on them. Isn't that how it is sometimes when you're on a show? It's like I can't think of the name, but you
hear me shuffle through all my stuff here. I have like all my little things I was going through each team and they're, how they're favored over the season. I took Green Bay in week one already. I took Green Bay in week one.
Okay.
Minus 116.
You probably got a better number than it is minus 1.5 right now. I'm thinking
it was 116 on the money line when I took it.
Oh, there you go.
And I took them for week two minus 1.5 versus the Washington Commanders. And I took Detroit in week two over the Bears minus 4.5.
I will say that I do like I like as a coach in itself without coordinators. I do like Green Bay's coach more in LaFleur, but Campbell is a great leader and he needs coordinators. So it's probably going to be a stay away or a teaser leg for me. I'm sure they have to think all last year how they lost to Washington too. And that's, got to kill them a little bit, but you can say that
was their year last year. That was the year for them, man. If you look at their schedule this year, they got Baltimore, they got Kansas City. They have a tougher schedule this year. Last year was a gift wrap year for them to make it to the Super Bowl and they blew it. This is a tougher year. Now you lose your coordinators. Again, people are like, what's the talent's still there? I don't know, man. I like Green Bay to take another step forward. I think they get it done there. I was to jump back to Arizona. I want to lay that 5.5. If Arizona, if him and Marvin Harrison and McBride and these guys and Connor, if this is Arizona going to take a step forward, you got to beat a Saints team with a rookie quarterback or Rattler, whoever in there. You got to beat this team like 40-10. It can't be close. You got to beat that team. I'm just torn to 5.5. It's like that Cincinnati 5.5.
I'm laying it too. I decided I'm laying it.
Kiev, 5.5.
It's going to go up if anything. There's no way it's going to go down, right? And you get a minus 110 at DraftKings right now. Absolutely. Let's lay 5.5 on this one for a final play, Sean. And hey, man, we're out of time. Awesome talking to you as usual, my friend. I know you're hitting Vegas again. It's like you're there every month, but you're going back for Bet Bash, my man. Why don't you tell us about it and where we can find your great information?
Yeah, I'll be back. I think I was out there about a month ago with the wife and daughter, just kind of doing sightseeing kind of stuff. But I did get into the Survivor. I was out there. I'll probably do millions, although maybe hit the Westgate for their college football one. It's $500. I can do 5 of those. It's less people in that. I can't believe the amount of people in the Survivor though. But yeah. So Twitter at Mr. Sean Higgs there. Right. I mean, the Survivor's got twice as many people as the millions.
More than that, it's going to be 3 times as much, and Sean's going to be hitting the dogs all week. And
yeah,
that turns out, man, I want you to win.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's like years past where dogs win, by like week 7 or 8, I'll be like on the show. It's gonna be like this team name. And it's midday. Fine, man. I do midday money every day at noon. Midday money. This guy's taking every week. He's taking a dog outright. He said, like. I should just get a prize if I last 10 weeks taking a dog outright every week.
Make sure you guys check out Sean Higgs. We'll be texting Sean. Have a great weekend.
All right, yeah.